Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. A nice little gift there to start the ball game as they will begin things at the 40-yard line.
They run with Hines. And some space here.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Great beginning there under the bright lights of prime time.
Yeah, it takes you back to high school football on a Friday night, doesn't it? When you feel like every eye in the county is on you. In this case, every eye in prime time is on you.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Chiefs at 500 hit 6-6. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Mahomes now to throw.
Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Draw play. This is Hines. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
Mahomes going to throw. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
Here's Hines. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy, couldn't get it. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Chiefs put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. The touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos
at their own 15. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson.
Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wilson. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that will extra pep in their step. You go to them early enough.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Now it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3 and out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Well, these two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
Touchdown! Jerry Jeudy, 69 yards.
And the Broncos have cut it back within a score.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Now
McManus on to kick this one off. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And he's taken down, a cheap sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
But defensively, they're doing everything they can to protect this early lead after giving up a touchdown on their last drive.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll get that complete to Albert O. On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. He's got him in, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. This is Hines. And some room to maneuver. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Nyheim Hines His third rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Mahomes will throw for it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like,
and it's a fumble. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And that is caught for a touchdown, Kansas City. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 26 yards. And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Butker on for the PAT. And that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Fielded right around the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster in the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because
and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chiefs are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Butker now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Wilson. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way because
and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On first down, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a contour, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And they run the option on 2nd down. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
112 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Mahomes going to throw it here. And that is incomplete. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there's no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Chiefs, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.
my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the Riasi, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we not a ride nobody wave, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy Yanni again hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr.
For me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton. But with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look. See, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 gripping. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live with. Showtime at the Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pull out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
I'm downstairs. You mean? Girl, I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you needed 5, that was more than 12 ago. Claim you got your hands tied, time stuck like Velcro. Georgia Peach on east side like it's ATL. You lacking, you tripping, you slacking, impatient, be waiting, confused like what happened.